week it is half the time. So, well, we'll be starting on, let's see, on Monday, we'll be starting kind of a new little, a new chapter as we move into Capricorn, and on the solstice big day, we'll talk about that on Monday. But so I've got some ideas for it, but I'm just not landed on them yet. But this is the last kind of little bit of our Sagittarius theme cycle, which we've been doing building resilience. So we've been really working a lot of leg and hip strengthening. So I'm sure you guys have been feeling that. And so today I wanted to really fortify our bodies, just really feel like a lot of good energy coming into our bodies and our energy field, because, you know, we've got the holidays and you've got a lot to do, and, you know, it's kind of a crazy time, maybe not this year. And so just really getting our energy strong so that we have the capacity to do what we need to do, whether that's, you know, whether you've got lots of cooking to do or whatever it is, right? Or just maybe the holidays are a challenging time, or just something else, whatever's going on. Fortification can never help, right? So we're going to work with that today. So we're going to do a lot of different standing shapes, a lot of traditional ones, and we're going to keep it moving. So I just want to let you know that, and see if you had any requests or anything else. That sounds like everybody's just kind of going with the flow today. I did want to touch on something. Jen had a really good question at the end of class the other day, and I always want to make sure you guys know, like, if you have a question about something, or if I say something and you're not sure, always know you can ask. And her question was, what was prana? And I know I use that word a lot. We do a lot of prana building, like mudras or mantras. And it's a great question, because maybe everyone else is wondering that too. And prana is our energy. If you have ever had acupuncture, they call it qi in Chinese medicine. There's lots of different names for the same thing, but it's the energy that's in our body, and it's the energy that makes up like our muscles and tissues. But not only that, it's the energy of our emotions. It's the energy of our thoughts. It's just this energy of life force that's moving through us. It's energy you can feel when you put your hand on someone's shoulder and you feel their energy, or someone really negative enters the room and you feel their energy. That's their prana. So prana can be felt and experienced different ways. And the thought of the yoga practice is to align the prana so that it's more coherent. It's more directed towards the things of the higher mind. So those are things like towards love and peace and compassion, and being able to focus and direct our energy in ways that are skillful, right? So that we're not just kind of like, you know, giving up, like reacting to things in unskillful ways, or just having pain and discomfort in our bodies. So the reason we do the yoga is to fortify our bodies in some ways, to fortify our energy, to clear out. And so a lot of the mudras that we do, those are the hand gestures, or some of these, like the one we did last week, a lot of these are old practices, like they're ancient, that have been used to like really build energy in different ways. So it moves the energy maybe up or down or around. And so I select those based on like the intention of the class. So just a little 411 on the prana. So the more you get aware of feeling and experiencing your body, the more you can like move your energy places and feel where it maybe is weaker or where it's stronger. And so your job is just to kind of like feel and experience it the way you do, and however it's coming to you. And that might be through physical, like you feel muscles and stretches. And it also might be the energy. You might feel something that really like lifts your energy, or it drops your energy, or relaxes your energy. And however that is experienced, that's prana. So if you ever have questions about anything we do, please ask, because I want you guys to feel like this is a community where we learn and talk and discuss. So anyway, that's it. We'll get going. So find a comfortable seat. You might want blocks today, especially on one each side of the mat, so that you can because we're going to be turning some. So if you want to put your blocks out. We're going to start this with a little bit of checking in. So closing your eyes and tune into yourself. And just check in with how you feel today. Check in with your energy level. Is it high? Is it low? You might notice that as feeling sleepy or feeling energized and ready to go. tune into your physical body and just do a little scan to notice where you feel really good in your body, maybe where you feel strong or maybe mobile, maybe where you feel stiff, maybe there's an area of pain or discomfort. Notice that. And see if there's any emotions present, anything that you feel. So that might take a little bit more awareness or perception to get a little deeper into yourself. You might even just notice it like a mood. I'm in a good mood, or I'm in a bad mood. Feel, And then just checking in with your mind, noticing what you're thinking, how the mind feels, dull, bright, sharp. And you can sometimes witness that by the quality or the types of thoughts. Am I worried? Am I thinking? Am I planning? And so whatever it is that you find yourself, know that that's exactly what you need to be fully awake and present for this day. That you don't need to have any different body. You don't need to have any different mindset or emotional set. Whatever you have is perfect for the practice today. And you can welcome that in, and it can be used for whatever it is that you want to bring forth in your day. Whatever you have is the perfect starting point. So take a couple breaths to just welcome yourself, however you are noticing yourself, and know that there is space in this community and there's space on your mat for exactly what you find. And from this place, let's make this intention to fortify ourselves, to fortify a coherent energy field that lets us feel vibrant, healthy, maybe inspired. You choose those words. So go ahead and rub those hands together as if you're starting to build that heat and energy that you'll need for your day today. And then join those hands, kind of feel that energy pulsing between, touch your heart, and then find your intention for today, for why you practice, for what you can use this energy to build today, to create, how you want to send your energy out into the day. And then take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Send that intention out. And then rise with the arms, reach up, stretch. Then turn your palms to face out and reach out and away. Awesome. So if you want to grab a spritz of aromatherapy, go ahead and do that and give yourself a little direction or intention with your spray. So maybe that's going to help whatever it is you want to create. So I'm going to keep seated on a prop. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to change it up. We're going to start with a little bit of spinal movement. So hold on to the fronts of your shins and rock forward and back. So you can go fast or slow. It's inhale and then exhale. And so really try to move the lower back as much as you can. So kind of waking up anything in the lumbar. And just kind of notice what it's like to feel and experience your hips and your low back in this moment. So maybe they feel tight. I know I woke up with a tight low back. So just kind of, that's what I feel. Really breathe. Imagine just like moving energy up and down the spine as you do this. Kind of waking up muscles. And then start to bring your hands to like right below the knees and add a little bit of that back. So shoulders rounding and releasing. So maybe it changes just a little bit so that we have upper and lower spine. Oops. Notice how that feels in your body. Kind of check in with the shoulders and the back. And again, you can be going slower than me. You might be going faster, whatever feels good. You can be moving the head or keeping the head still. And then slowly just come to a pause. I'm going to move my prop, so you might want to move yours. So you're sitting a little flatter. And we're going to do what we call like the Sufi Grind. So you're going to make big circles. So imagine that you would kind of make a circle with your pelvis. So you can use your shoulders like we were before and kind of combine some of those movements. Take as much space up as you can Feel free to let the head kind of drape, or you can again keep it upright if you feel a little dizzy or head feels a little off this morning. Make sure you're still breathing. Inhale as you come forward, exhale back. Really waking up, neck, shoulders, complete spine. And then come to the center, and then a little balancing. So we're going to take the hands to the shoulders, and we'll inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, and again, try to keep your awareness centered at the center of your brain, or like the middle of your forehead. Really feeling that side stretch as you kind of shift from hip point to hip point. One more on each side. And then sit up nice and tall. You'll uncross and recross so that you have the opposite leg in front. So if you went clockwise, go counterclockwise, go back to those Sufi grinds. Maybe you exhale through the mouth or kind of sigh. It can be nice to kind of get all the tightness or stagnancy that you feel from maybe sleeping. And then a couple more. Take your time if there's any tight spots. And then coming up to center. So we did this one last week, but it's that twist. So inhale left, exhale right. So you can touch the shoulders. You can have your hands behind your head, or you can have your arms out, and you can touch your thumb to the base of your pinky finger if you want. And this one's a good to kind of relax the brain if your mind's a little overactive. So choose whatever one resonates with you. We inhale left, exhale right. Ready? And you do get sometimes a little dizzy, so you can go a little slower if you need to. We're not here long. Try to sit up as tall as you can, so keep reaching through the crown of the head and keep those sitting bones really firmly rooted, legs relaxed. And I'm breathing in through the nose only. You can soften your eyes so you can be more in the experience of this pose or this Kriya. And a Kriya is just an energy movement to kind of cultivate energy. We have 5 seconds. And then slowly come to us, pause, and just let your palms rest. Try to balance that out by just taking it in, slowing down. Just do a quick energetic check-in just to see what's happened just by moving the spine, getting a little bit more activation. So for this one, I'll give you the opportunity to either stand if you want to stand, or keep sitting if you're going to sit. I'm going to go back to sitting on something, but if you're going to stand, I would recommend horse. So coming here to like a mini horse. So if you feel like you want to get up, go ahead and get up. Otherwise, you're going to sit. So this is called a Prana Shakti one, and it's going to really lift your energy, okay? So the arms are going to outstretch up, and then you're going to hit your ribs as you exhale. So it sounds like this. So we're going to go for a minute. So either seated or in this kind of horse stance, arms up, inhale, exhale. It's all through the nose, and you're doing it as quick as you can, okay? Ready? Go. So this Kriya really wakes up the lymph tissue, so it kind of circulates your lymph tissue. It helps the lungs kind of awaken, helps your breathing increase. So it's a really good one for revitalizing the body. It's a good one if you're sleepy and you need to wake up. Keep going. We're halfway there. Stay focused if you can on feeling the experience of shifting your energy. 5 seconds. Lift your arms up, stretch. Turn your palms to face out and stretch it out and away. And then just take a moment to begin to stand up normally. If you're already seated, stay there and just kind of feel. And just remembering our intention to fortify, to let our energy build and feel strong. Okay, friends, when you're ready, slowly make your way up. If you need a cat-cow or two, go ahead. We're going to come to standing at the top of the mat. So if you need to take some interlude before then, go ahead. Otherwise, coming to the top of the mat and having your feet shoulder width apart. Just kind of bend and straighten your legs a couple times, maybe hip shift, just really waking up the feet so you can feel your feet touch the mat. And then as you take your hands to your hips, maybe let's rock forward and back a couple times with bent knees, feeling the weight go to the quads and then the weight go to the glutes. Then rock the weight back to the glutes, so you're back on your heels. Push down, push the mat apart like you're making your sticky mat wider and straighten your legs. Tailbone long, belly in, reach your arms up. And feel a pressing into the feet, a lifting up through the spine, and a reaching out through your arms. Take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, hands to the center seam, bend the knees and fold forward. And then from here, shake your head out. You can sway right to left, whatever feels good. Make sure you take a wider stance if that's better for your hips and your low back. And then bend those knees generously, lengthen through your tailbone, pull the belly back and roll nice and slowly. And I'm going to widen my feet a bit and just roll the shoulders. So maybe bend the knees and roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then you can maybe even let go of holding the shoulders and just feel a move. Let's go the opposite direction. So back, up, and forward. And just shake it out, shake your legs out. Well, once again, sweep those arms up. See if you can recreate that really strong Tadasana. And on the exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, stretch your spine long. Keep your spine long, step your right leg back and come to a low lunge. So feel free to use that block here. 5 breaths, lengthening through your spine. So lift through that right quad and right hamstring and draw that outer left hip crease back. Keep your belly nice and strong and like an arrow shooting out from your low back through your crown of your head. Feel that plank pose still present in your low lunge. Take one more deep breath, and then you're going to step forward and fold. Halfway lift, right back down, fold, and then all the way up to standing, big stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Stay in your halfway lift, step your left leg back and come into a lunge. And again, you can be on a block, high or low setting. That left quadricep and hamstring lift up. Your right outer hip draws back. The belly draws back and you're lengthening your spine. So try to feel lots of strength in the legs and through the core. You can close your eyes and just feel all the parts of your body that are engaged, creating this lunge. Take one more breath. And then step and fold, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. All the way up to standing. This time, we're going to do a little side stretch. So you can either take one arm to your hip or down to the floor. You can clasp the arms or keep them parallel. Deep breath in, and then we're going to stretch to the right. So as best as you can, use that right arm to keep lifting to the right side waist. You can let your head go into your bicep. 2 strong legs lifting you up. And then inhale, come up to center. Bring your ribs down and in, and then go to the left. So make sure your back body feels nice and full. Breathing into that right side lung. Come back to center, inhale, and then exhale through center seam, fold forward. Halfway lift, stay in your halfway lift, step your right leg back, and then drop to your right knee and sweep your arms up. We'll take a little side stretch. So again, the left arm can go down, it can come to your thigh, your choice. Side stretch to the left for 5 breaths. Feel free to look down or drop your head. Can you breathe that whole right side seam? And then releasing the hands down to the floor. Come back to that first low lunge, and then step and fold forward. Halfway lift, fold again, all the way up to standing. Back down, forward fold. Halfway lift, step your left leg back. Start like we did before, but then drop to the left knee, hips stay released forward, sweep the arms up. We'll side stretch to the right. So either right hand to a block or the floor, or your thigh, side stretch. As the hips release down and forward, keep pressing through your right heel to lift up. Keep pulling back through the navel. Big side stretch. And then both hands down, lift your back knee up, come back to that first lunge, and then step and fold forward. Halfway lift, forward fold, all the way up to standing. And then bring your hands to your heart. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So arms stretch up, side stretch again. So arms reach, you can clasp or have a hand at your hip, side stretch to your right. Come back to center and go a little deeper, same side. So maybe a little bit more stretch. Come up, and then last time, same side, go a little deeper. Come up to the center, 3 times to the left. So first, just kind of where you feel a natural pause, and then come out of it. And then maybe there's a little bit more reach on the second one. And on the third one, see if there's even a little bit more reach. All the way up to standing. On the exhale, forward fold. Take that halfway lift. Step your right leg back, start as you did. Then bring your hands to meet at your heart. And then bend your back knee and lift your torso. And then sweep your arms up. And then exhale, hands back to your low back. So you can either have fingers forward, thumbs back, or hands in your back hip pocket. And open through your chest. So I want a straight back leg if you can. A lot of strength in your glute. Get low through your front shin, but lift your chest. And then take 4 more breaths. Maybe close your eyes and feel all that strength. Sweep your arms back up. Bring them back to your heart, hinge forward. And then come back to that halfway lift. Forward fold. All the way up to standing. Hands through your heart space, halfway lift, or fold forward, excuse me. Come to halfway lift. Step your left leg back. Hands come to your heart. Take your time. Now bend your left knee, lift your torso. Then as you straighten your left leg, sweep your arms up. And then reach them back and around. And again, you go to the small of the back, or you go fingers forward, thumbs back, but open your chest. Feel as you sink a little lower, your back thigh lifts, the pelvis stays neutral. Then just breathing and opening through the chest. Feeling your core lift towards your heart, back of the neck is long. You have 1 more breath. Lift your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart, hinge forward. Step halfway lift. Fold forward, you can move your block. And then you're going to step back to a plank pose. So our first time, so holding it here, and you can have knees down if you need. Now see if you can recreate that Tadasana here. So tailbone long. Pubic bone and front rib cage kind of draw in towards one another, but the back of your neck is long. 4 more breaths. See if you can really turn on the shoulders to press the floor away. You can feel the thigh bones lift. And on your exhale, come forward, drop to your knees if you need to, all the way to your belly. 3 cobras. So you're going to readjust your hands if they are too far forward or too far back, so that you can broaden your collarbones, anchor pubic bone and legs, and then pull the hands back, lift up. Exhale, lower down. You have 2 more and take your time. Really tractioning that spine nice and long. 1 more. All the way back. We're going to press back to plank or knee plank. So tuck your toes, set your shoulders on your back, firm your core. And then we press to plank and then first down dog. Taking your time. And going to give you 3 times to go through a vinyasa of your choice. So that can be plank, chaturanga, upward dog, or do the same thing we just did, plank, chaturanga, cobra. You have 3 times and we'll meet me back in down dog. So take your time, 1 movement, 1 breath. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and you can stretch these out even longer. And then exhale. Taking your time, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last time. And then we meet in down dog to hold. Bend those knees if you need to get a little bit more space in your low back. Drop your head, 4 breaths here. And then 1 more deep breath in, and then 1 more deep breath out. Take that right leg and stretch it up and back for a moment. Keep the right hip point pointed down so you can lift the left heel to get more lift, or you can lower the left heel to get more calf stretch. Then step that right leg forward between your hands, seal the back foot flat, and rise up warrior 1. So warrior 1 can look at hands at heart or hands up. You're just going to take a full breath in and out here. And then the hands are going to come down, and you can either just step right to down dog or go back through a flow. Then you're going to do the left side. And we're going to do this for like a minute or so. You're just going to be, it's called dancing warrior. You're just repeating warrior 1 on each side. So you can skip the vinyasa if you don't want to do it. Or each time you can add the vinyasa. But just kind of build some heat. If you add it after each side, but just kind of move around. And you're just, again, warrior 1. And if warrior 1 is not a good shape for you, then do high lunge. Okay? But get in a flow of synchronizing your breath and movement. So it's not so important what shape you do, but that you're moving at a consistent pace that lets you really feel your breath. So either you move the breath or let the breath be natural and you just keep going at the pace your breath's at, okay? It's not too much longer, just kind of getting a little rhythm. Where you kind of maybe even lose yourself a little bit in just feeling that movement. Kind of noticing when the pace feels too fast, what that feels like, noticing when the pace feels too slow. So we have maybe like 1 more time on each side. So if you're in between, you might finish up. And we'll meet in down dog again. Just take a moment. Child's pose is fine. Feel all that out. And then go ahead and drop to your knees or hop forward and come onto your back. And continue warming up and getting that core active so that, again, that centering can be felt. So go ahead and take your hands behind your head. So option 1, feet down, and you'll just do the upper half, but you'll lift the heels so that you can really relax the hip flexors. Okay, so that's if you're feeling kind of tight through your hip flexors. Option 2, tabletop. You can have a block between your legs. Option 3, legs up. So that's a little bit more strenuous. So you decide. Okay, we're going to be exhaling, lifting the legs if you have straight legs, and then lowering down. So it's just really simple ab curls. Exhale, belly down, lift shoulders, lift hips. If you're in tabletop, you're just staying here. And if you're in legs down, I want you to really press the tailbone kind of forward. So pull the belly back. So with your breath, exhale, inhale, exhale, feel the belly pull down, low back stretches, inhale. You're going at whatever pace feels good, but I want you to imagine just like stoking the fire in the center of your body. As if this was like you're putting gas in the gas tank. So exhale, inhale. So we're pretty rhythmic with this so that it can be felt like it's heat and activating. Make sure, again, the belly pulls down instead of braces. Just showing you the different options. Try not to pull on your head, but feel the lift of the torso instead of the lift of the head. You have 2 more. And then put the feet down. Lift the hips up, reach your arms overhead. So you have a little mini bridge. And then put the hips down, hands down, lift the legs up. Now, if you want to lift the chest, lower the legs, and then bring the knees in, come down into that bridge. So the hips come up, heels come down, reach your arms overhead, and then lower everything. Now the legs lift. Now either upper half or just lower half, lower the legs, kind of like a half boat. Bring the knees in, and then repeat. You have 1 more time. Stretch the arms and legs overhead. Hips down, legs up. If you want, hands behind your head, lower. Just to wherever you can keep that sacrum from moving, and then knees in, and relax. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then roll a couple times just to massage your spine, and then you'll come forward, down dog. All right, let's start our standing sequence. So you're gonna have a block at the front of the back of the mat if you need it. You may not need it for this first little round, but just have it if you do. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then walk nice and slowly to the top of the mat. Nice and slowly. You can take 5 breaths in a forward fold of your choice. So bent knees if you need, wider stance. Drape your body, feel the head relax. Start to wake up the hamstrings. So I like pushing my feet apart slightly. That gives me a little bit more space in my low back. And then as you're ready, bend those knees and then let the arms flow either forward or to your heart for chair pose. 5 breaths. So feeling that hip hinge so that you can see your toes. So the hips go back, knees right over the ankles, wherever you want your arms to be. 2 more nice deep breaths. Sit a little lower, feel that strength of your legs. And then arms reach up, stand tall. And then on the exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Now either bend your right knee and then float the left leg up, standing split. So you might want to block. So your right knee is bent, your left leg is vigorously lifting from the strength of your glutes, from the strength of your hamstring. Now, if you want to, you can straighten the right leg. Or if it helps, if you feel a lot of tightness here, lift your heel for a moment on the right leg. Lift your left leg a little higher. Keep it there. Straighten the right knee and then lower the heel. That's just a little trick. You have 3 more breaths. Move your right hip back. Pull your navel back. Direct the energy from your right belly towards your left belly, towards your heel on the left. Okay, now land at warrior 1. So take your time, readjust, and then sweep your arms up. It can be any style of arms. That can be hands at heart. You can have clasped hands. Maybe you close your eyes and you just kind of feel that strength of your front knee drawing forward. Activation of your quad on the front leg. Then activation of your glute and outer hip on the left as you push that left foot back and away. Core lifts. And now straighten your right leg, and you might have to pop the back foot forward. Reach your arms out and away to either grab elbows, or you can go reverse prayer if that works for you. So it's really important for this that you really tonify your back leg. Lift up, little tip back, and then a forward fold over your front leg. Now, if this doesn't work for your back or your neck, take your hand down to a block and release the bind, okay? Once again, allow your pelvis to move slightly to the left as you pull your right hip back in. Fortify your back leg, lengthen your spine, but your head can relax. Nice deep breath, strong, stable legs. One more breath. Now bend your right knee, release your arms, come back up, warrior one. And then hands to your heart for warrior three. Now turn and come to the toenail side of your left foot. So I'm in kind of a prep for warrior three. I want you to feel such good strength pushing down into the mat so that you can push down and now lift up with your back leg. So you're kind of pressing the floor away with your right, lifting the floor away with your left. Right hip back, strengthen your right inner thigh. Your hands can come forward, can come back. Your choice for three. Long spine, two. And then bend your right knee and step it back, warrior two. So I'm going to turn around so I'm not facing away from you. Heel to arch. Okay, roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Feel free to flip the palms if that's a better posture. As the left hip turns forward, you're pushing your feet down and apart. So feel these hips really strong. Right arm, left arm, both pulling away from the midline. Your gaze is over the middle finger. So maybe find that drishti. Breathe in, breathe out. Now straighten your right leg, bring your arms up. Turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out, and come into warrior two on that back leg. And then once again, set it up. So now the right hip's forward. I'm pushing down through my heels and dragging my feet apart. There's a vigorous stretch away from the heart and a gaze over my middle finger. Palms can be up though if that supports the shoulders. Maybe there's a little bit more depth. Just really feeling that energy moving through your body, through the strength of your legs, your core, maybe where you're reaching. And now straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in. So now you should have a neutral stance. So all 10 toes face forward. Arms are gonna reach up. Either hands to the waist, fingers forward, thumbs back, or bind your arms so that your chest opens. Bend those knees for a moment to hinge forward and fold. Let the head go. So if you're binding the arms, do make sure your chest stays open and your shoulders stay away from your ears. And then just sink in, letting the head go. Feeling those hamstrings and inner thighs start to awaken. So you might press the feet apart a bit. You might kind of notice where in your feet you don't feel supported. So that might tell you what muscles might need to turn on or relax a bit. So kind of just check out the footprint. You can kind of play with your weight positioning. Okay, releasing your hands to the mat, take a halfway lift. And then walk towards the front of the mat. Come to plank pose. On your exhale, chaturanga. Cobra, up dog, locust, your choice. Hold for a couple extra breaths. And then downward facing dog. Then take a reset here. Feel it out. We're going to step that right leg forward between your hands. Drop to the left knee, just one breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hands forward. And then exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And then a forward fold. And then bend your knees, chair pose. Maybe this time you go a little lower. So trying to work a little bit of that edge of where you get uncomfortable and where you have to really work to breathe and stay present. Again, adjusting the arms where you need. What can you turn on within your legs and your core to help feel a little stronger in this shape? Okay, you have one more breath. Exhale, hands to the mat. So again, you might want to block for your hands, bend that left knee and float the right leg up. Now try not to feel too much downward pressure on that left thigh bone. So that's where the core comes in. You kind of pull the core energy towards your right hip and right ankle. You might can feel a little levity there in the left thigh. Find your left inner thigh line. So see if you can get that leg as high as you can. And maybe that requires bending the left knee and lifting the heel to kind of work that a little bit. Just kind of massaging and playing with that. But there's a big reach out of your right glute to your right heel. And a big kind of, and I like to use my hands to push down and away as well. Okay, you have one more nice deep breath. And then bend the left knee, step your right leg back, and it's a warrior one. So we've been here, so go on down and get low. Remember, any hands, so hands to heart, anything you want for your warrior one. And just kind of feeling the strength of that warrior energy, of commanding your energy, directing it where you need it. Feeling centered and strong. Now straighten that left leg. I like to walk my feet a little closer in so that both hip points are forward. Take your arms out to the side, inwardly rotate them, either grab elbows or reverse prayer, so your palms touch. Now again, as I strengthen this back leg, I'm going to lift up and reach back, and then fold forward. And I can stop halfway, or I can go all the way to the floor. This requires a lot of strength in your legs because you're not using your hands. So I want to really firm that right glute, press the back heel away from the front heel. And I want to guide that left hip back so that my pelvis might swing slightly to the right. And this is going to help level the pelvis so that the low back feels nice and long. Keep letting your head go, feel your core energy. And then as you're ready, releasing the hands, bend the left knee, come back to warrior one. Bring your hands to your heart. Hinge forward and come to the toenail side of your right foot. You should feel a lot of work in your left. So again, as I push down, I'll lift up and come into warrior three. And I can do any arm expression that works. Just like standing split, I want to really pull the energy out of the pelvis towards my right heel. Feel that right inner thigh lifting just as vigorously as the glute. Take another breath or two. And then bend that left knee and open up warrior two. So you have to readjust. The stance won't be the same, heel to arch. And again, I like rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. Sink on in. So maybe there's a little bit more depth this time in warrior two. Maybe a little bit more, since this is our second visit. Sinking on down, really feeling the side waist. How do you lift more through your side waist? So that, again, the hips feel mobile and easy. And the side waist is strong. Okay, straighten the left leg parallel. Turn the right toes out. Inhale the arms up, and then come on in, warrior two, back in the mat. Nice and deep, so maybe that front shin comes forward a bit more. Maybe your back foot more vigorously presses away. Chest opens, upper back widens, fingers reach, steady gaze. Okay, straighten your right leg, parallel your big toes, arms reach up. So you have some options. You can bind again or fingers forward. If you want to go upside down, you can certainly do that. Take a deep breath in and then hinge forward. So if you are a tripod headstander, or you want to try it from here, you can plant your hands and you can put your head down. Remember, form that triangle before you go up. That, or you can just do a more active forward fold. You could push your hands down and forward and maybe lift the heels. We're not here too long. Okay, take a halfway lift when you're ready. And then turn towards your front leg, plank pose. So remember, you're going to choose your own adventure. So you can choose any belly down or upward facing dog, any back bend. So when you're ready, plank, chaturanga, cobra, up dog, locust, any of those shapes that you like. And then 5 breaths in down dog. And this is our reset. Tune into your energy. Let that mind quiet as you kind of rest in the experience of what you're feeling and sensing in your body. And then we're going to step that left leg forward between our hands, right knee down, just 1 breath in and out for that low lunge. And then hands to the mat, or forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold, and then we go all the way up to standing. And then sit back chair pose. 5 breaths. Again, hands can go anywhere you want. Again, keep challenging your chair pose so that it gets like slightly uncomfortable, but there's more of the practice of trying to breathe and soften neck, shoulders, as you feel that strength. And we're gonna lift up, inhale, then we're gonna sit down a little lower, exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, and maybe each time like we were doing those side bends, it gets a little deeper. Maybe it's like Prana Mudra eventually, or maybe it's even a Malasana as you go down. But you have 10 more. Imagine like drawing this earth energy up and in towards your body, so that's that stable grounding force. Keep breathing. One more. Stand tall, stretch, and circle, sweep your arms down. Tree pose, right leg is the base, so feel free to grab a wall space if you need. Either turn your left toes out and just come to your ankle, or pick your foot up. So what's important is that we don't let the right hip bow to the side. So do your best to allow the right inner thigh to reach down, right? So as I reach down, then that naturally fortifies the right hip. So you can have hand at thigh, and you can go up, and you might add a little side stretch if that's kind of fun today. You can have hands to heart, hands up. You can even have reverse prayer hands, so you could change it up somehow. Okay, so stretch out from your big toe to your outer heel, from your pinky toe to your inner heel. Find that X, and then that center where the X meets in the center of your foot. Can you feel that lift through your whole side body? Foot and thigh equally pressing towards one another. Soft, steady gaze. You have one more breath. And then release it down. On the inhale, stretch up. We'll continue on the second side when we get there. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Step back with that left leg and come into a reverse warrior. So that reverse warrior can be hand at your hip with neck release if you're needing a neck stretch. It can even be both arms up and back if you want a little bit more core work today. So lift out of your lumbar and stretch back, just like those side bends. Deepen your front thigh. And the way you can do that is by picking your heel up for a moment and then setting it back down. Now, nice deep breath. Keep your back thigh really pressing away. And then you're going to come into a side angle pose. So hand either to your thigh, arm up and over, or straight up, or hand to a block, inside or outside your thigh. So what happens is the right hip bows back. So pull the right hip back and in so that you're aiming your right sitting bone towards your left heel. Now, as you do that, press strongly through your heels and press those heels apart. Your arms can do whatever. Now, bring your tailbone towards your pubic bone. Lengthen your right side waist. If you have your hand over your head, you can lengthen from wrist to heel. You're turning the waist, even though the hips stay stable. You have 2 more nice deep breaths. Really stretch your body out on these. Feel that downward pressure. Feel that upward lift. And then come to straighten your right leg. It's the same pose, but now with a straight right leg. So again, you can have both arms up. You can have a hand at your hip. You can do that neck release. All those work. Keep lifting up and away from the earth. And then let your hips move back a little and kind of rotate forward as you come into triangle pose. Block or not. Hand can go up, hand can go over, whatever you want to do. It's the same work as an extended side angle. The left hip will come forward a bit, the right hip will come under. But try not to let the lumbar have too much of a curve, so we can meter that by pulling the navel back and lengthening the right side waist. That's your bottom waist. And the more we do that, we can feel that plank feel and that twist. You have 2 more nice deep breaths. Nice, long, full, spacious breaths. You got it. Okay. Bend your right knee. Take your left hand to your waist. Step your left foot in. Step your block forward if you have it. It's half moon pose. So I'm going to have hand at waist first so I can get the legs right. So my right knee in the center of my foot, that's where it's aiming. I might need to bend the right knee. Just like standing split, just like all those warrior shapes, I want to lift from the left hip and reach to my left ankle. Maybe the arm can come up, maybe even the right hand can come to your heart. You choose. 5 breaths. Feeling really strong through your legs and especially your core. It's like side body work. 3, 2. So listen to the exit. We're going to forward fold. So both legs down. Take a nice deep breath in. Take a nice deep breath out. Then come to a halfway lift. And then a forward fold. Step back to plank pose. Right leg side plank, a right side side plank. So I like to kind of come back a bit, move my right arm forward, and then come into side plank. Left hand can be over your head. It can be straight up. Keep lifting from that bottom hip. 1 more. And then come to plank pose. Again, vinyasa of your choice. You choose. And you can always skip it if you need an extra breather. Downward facing dog. Settle in, feel all that work that you've done. Okay, 1 more breath. Step your right leg forward, high lunge, just for a moment. So a breath in, a breath out, hinge forward, and then move your left leg in, and you're in chair pose again. So this time, instead of going all the way up, we're just gonna pulse it low. Okay, so pulsing it low, feeling again that going lower and lower and lower. Keep breathing. Press your palms together to activate your core strength. You got it. And then forward fold. Widen your feet, turn your toes out and your heels in. So I'm going to come to that squat, and it can be a lower squat or it can be somewhat higher. And then I'm going to forward fold, pivot my legs. So I'm pivoting on the heel, so I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to be pivoting like this. So I squat, and then I forward fold. And then I squat, and then I forward fold. So again, just hip mobility and strengthening. 4, 3, 2. And then you can sit down in Malasana of choice. So that maybe if knees are tender, you're staying high today. Maybe you're going low. Any hand position. So some people like to fold in. Some people like to lift up. Can you feel your spine? So feeling that earth energy, rooting, stabilizing, strengthening, and then feeling the lift from your pelvic floor all the way up. So it's just imagining like a hot air balloon lifting from the base of your spine up. And that lift and that imagery can help you turn on those deeper muscles. Okay, friends, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold again, and then all the way up to standing. Hands to the heart, and now it's tree pose on the left. Left leg stabilized. Before I do too much, I want to feel left inner thigh. So we'll really want to trace from that psoas line down so that when I pick my right leg up, my left hip doesn't go out. So you adjust, use a block if you need, I'm sorry, a wall if you need. Hip points forward. So lots of options, hand to thigh, lifting up, both arms up, hands at heart, lots of good options. Steady your gaze, that helps you balance. Slow your breath down. It's okay to wobble, fall in and out. Remember, everything that you have is part of the practice. So falling out, if that's the day of falling out, that's the practice today. If it's a day of steadiness, it's a day of steadiness. If it's the day of distracted mind, you can use that too. Okay, 1 more breath. And then release it all the way out. Nice work. Nice balances, you guys. Okay, arms stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back with your right leg, reverse warrior. And as I do this, I can use my hand at my hip. If I want a neck release, I can do that. If I want more core, I do that. I want to get strong legs. So as I'm rooting down, I'm pushing apart, and that's my roots. But then as I lift through my core, that's how I get that levity, right? That's how I bring that earth energy up. Settle into breathing. And then we have side angle. So hands to the thigh or a block. Arm up or over your head, you decide. This is where that left hip needs to aim towards your right frontal hip or that right heel. Bring your tailbone forward. Lengthen your left side waist. And then turn your chest without moving your hips. It's just the chest that can turn up, so you can feel that twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, last couple breaths. Make them really strong so you can get a little bit more stretch. Then it's reverse triangle. So straighten your left leg, stretch up and back. It's the same orientation of legs. We just have straight legs, just a different feel. Can you get that levity that lifts you out of your feet, out of your hips? And we're going to come into triangle. So you might like a shorter stance. A lot of people do. Remember to press your hips back, and it's okay for them to turn and angle so that front hip point is more down. Then as I release the hands down, all the same work in side angle, but just have a straight leg. So pull your tailbone forward. Lengthen your left side waist. Broaden through your upper back. Kind of rest back into your spine a bit more so there's a little bit more of that trust. Find your deep breath. And then hand to the waist. Bend your left knee, block comes forward. Make sure you line up knee and foot before you lift right leg, before you straighten left. And it's okay to keep the left leg somewhat bent. It's the same work as side angle. Tailbone comes forward, lengthen left side waist. It's all the same shapes. Kind of lift up a bit more, so you keep feeling the levity of your core. Okay, deep breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Halfway lift. Step it on back to down dog, and then it's going to be side plank on the left. So you set it up. I like my hands slightly forward, turned out, and then side plank. And then really fortify from the shoulders to the palms, from the hips to the sky. Turn on all those good core muscles, those rotational muscles that we're about to use. All right, friends, plank. Vinyasa, cat-cow, you hold in down dog. This is your jam, kind of your in-between. Downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. And then go ahead and drop to your knees and then sweep your legs forward, roll onto your back. So we're going to wake up those rotational muscles before we do our final set of standing poses. So your options are, again, feet down, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So you're just twisting, trying to stay above your shoulder blades so that you're not shoulder blades heavy. You can do it in tabletop, or you can do it with straight legs, bring them into tabletop. So you can kind of press your legs apart. Okay, so we're not here long. Sync it up with your breath. So it's not about how many you get in, but that you're feeling those rotational muscles wake up. Once again, recentering. Keep your head nice and nestled in your hands so that there's no tensioning in the neck. You have 4 more. Good, bring your knees into your chest. And then move your knees to the left as your arms stretch out to the right. And get a little chest stretch here. So as you traction your knees to the left, really widen through your right chest and shoulders. And then come back to the center. And then drop your knees to the right. Stretch your left chest and shoulder open. Try to remember what it feels like to keep a nice open chest, broad upper back, so that when we do these final twists, you can still feel that. And the muscles we just worked are the muscles that you're going to use for that. Come back to the center, hug your knees in, rock and roll, downward facing dog. Then as you're ready, nice and slowly walk your feet to your hands. Take a nice long forward fold for a moment, shake your head out. Okay, home stretch, you guys. So stay in the game if you can, really stay with that intention to fortify. So bending the knees, come up to chair pose, and then bringing the hands to the heart, twist to the right. So keep your knees from kind of splaying apart. I don't care if you touch your elbow to your thigh or you just hover it. But I want you to feel that turning of the waist, that strength of the right hip moving back. So option one, just stay here. Option one, lift your left heel. Option three, hover it. For 3. For 2. Straighten your left leg back behind you, re-lengthen, and then twist again for another 5 breaths. So I am using my elbow to my thigh. You can also use a block. Right, 5 more breaths. If you want a little bit more today, you can come into Revolve half moon. So you could elevate, right? Your choice. Stay with it. Really twist and turn. So if you're twisted with your hand at your heart, coming back up, high lunge, and then flatten your back foot, so that you have a warrior one shorter stance. Right hand to the hip, left arm reaches up. And then we hinge forward like we're reaching out to shake someone's hand. I get really long through both of my waist. Lower your left hand to a block, right hand out to the side like you did in that twist. Now turn your waist to twist. So it's not the shoulder driven, but more core driven. Strong through your back leg for 3. For 2. Good, both legs down, or both hands down. Tuck your left knee behind your right, take a seat. So twist. And if this is not good for your right hip, sit on a block or straighten your left leg. Right hand is your second spine, left arm goes up, and then I hook and twist. Final twist on this side. Sitting up nice and tall. And then as you're ready, you're gonna release the right leg out. So you can either take one foot in for your wide angle shape, or you can take both legs out. So kind of just decide what feels good for you. You might want to sit on a block or a blanket. Sit up nice and tall, and maybe that's all you do with hands back, or maybe you come forward. Remember, you can have one knee bent in, which sometimes is helpful if you feel like there's just too much pressure in the knee joint. Sometimes adding a bent knee can isolate a little bit differently. Nice deep breath in and out. And then sitting up nice and tall, lift those kneecaps, come forward Navasana. So lifting up and then dropping the heels down, grabbing onto the feet, and then either just rounding upper back or releasing the legs forward, forward fold. Not too long, just a few beats here. And then slowly rolling up. Okay, cross your ankles, come forward however you need to, vinyasa, or you can wait in down dog if you don't want the vinyasa. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Take your right leg forward for pigeon. So right knee down, you're lining up your right knee with your right wrist. Right heel with left hip point. So option to stay up if you want more hip stretching, leg strengthening, or you can come down if you want it more restorative. Feel free, like we did on Thursday, to use that block for your third eye, just to kind of massage the space between your eyes. There's options to grab a thigh if you want a thigh stretch or twist. And remember, if pigeon bothers your knee, come off to the right a bit so that you can unload the knee joint. Or come onto your back. Nice deep breaths in and out. The last deep breath, really a bubble of the lip, a sigh, just to really let go. And then plant your hands. So we're going to come up a funny way. So tuck your back toes, lift your front knee. You can hop to a squat. And if not, just make your way up to that squat and it's chair pose. And then we twist to the left. Remember, you can twist any way you want in the air, prayer twist, hooking. Option 1, just lift the right heel. Hover if you want. 3. Big breaths. 2. Go ahead and straighten that right leg back behind you. Re-lengthen and then twist again. Remember, the option is for a hand at the block. So remember what we did in our twist on our back. We wanted to broaden upper back, stretch to the chest as we twist from the core. Deep breath in. Then you're going to come to the center, seal your back heel flat, come up straight leg. This is where you'll need that block, so you might have to set it up. Right arm up, left hand to your waist. Strong back leg. That's how you're going to propel yourself forward as you hip hinge. Hand to the block, left hand out to the side like an airplane. Move your waist to twist deeper. Feel that opening through your chest as you twist. Doesn't matter if your arm's vertical at all. Keep strength in your hips, lengthen your spine. And then both hands to the floor. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Take a seat. Ardha Matsyendrasana. And so again, you can sit on a block or straighten your right leg. Right arm lifts, left arm second spine, hook and twist. So I'm sitting up nice and tall. I can look towards my front or my back. Then I'm going to unravel. If you had one knee bent and one leg straight, repeat that on the second side. Otherwise, come to Badakanasana. So soles of the feet together, knees wide. And you can, again, sit up tall or press hands back, or you can fold. Slow your breath down, make it long and deep. So as we get into these hip stretches, there's a feeling of starting to shift the energy from fortifying to starting to kind of release. Starting to kind of let that prana that you built start to now just work its magic through your body. Come up, go ahead and bring the knees up, come into that boat pose just for a moment, and then heels down, grab your feet, forward fold. And you can keep your knees soft or not all the way extended. Slowly come up. So option to come on your back for your final inversion, or to come to headstand if you prefer to come to headstand. So I'm going to give you like a minute or two for an inversion. So you can always just swing your legs around, and you can do bridge or on a block. Yeah, so I can do this. I can put my block down and lift the legs, headstand, handstand, any of those shapes. Totally fine. And try to get in that inversion of your choice and just be still and imagine that that energy just starts to now again just concentrate. Like you've stirred it up, like you've emptied a a drink mix into your glass, right? And it's all been swirling around, and now it just gets to settle and concentrate. So feel into that. Nice. And then when you're ready to come down, make your way nice and slowly down. If there's any shapes before you lie on your back, like happy baby or hugging your knees in or windshield wipering, please do that. We'll do a couple rounds of breath before we kind of rest in Shavasana. So feel free if you want to stay on your back, you can, or if you want to sit up for this, you can. So we're just going to be, again, breathing. We're going to breathe through the chakras, just one round each. So this is a visualization. So this is, again, highlights the right side of your brain, which is a different part of the brain, and hopefully it starts to bring that energy, that fortification energy to balance, right? So you can do this on your back, visualizing, or you can do this seated, okay? If you're seated, Yan Mudra, so join your, actually let's do Prana Mudra. So almost like the peace fingers, and you just rest it face up. So breathe from the base of your spine, visualize a color red, and bring that color red all the way up on your inhale. See white at the top, and then bring white down to the base of your spine on the exhale. Visualize orange at your sacrum, and breathe in from the sacrum to the crown of the head. Visualize white at the crown of the head, a brilliant light, and then let that exhale down your spine. Visualize yellow in your navel center and bring that energy up on your inhale to the crown of your head. At the crown of your head, feel and visualize a white, brilliant light, and take it all the way down your spine to your navel. See green around your heart and bring that energy from your heart to the crown of your head. Merge it with that bright white light, and then bring that down all the way. Visualize blue at your throat. Bring that all the way up. Then bring white all the way down. Visualize the color purple or deep purple from the third eye. That's between your eyes all the way up. Feel white, bring it all the way down. And then feel that white, brilliant light as you take a deep breath in. Concentrate it in the center of your brain as if it starts to become bigger than your brain and outside your brain, this deep, penetrating white light. And then nice and slowly send it all the way over your body, like a salve or a gel or a white, brilliant fog all over your body. And then just breathe a moment and just allow yourself to completely relax as much as you can into absorbing this energy in your practice, this prana that you built. And be in a state of wonder as to what you can do with this prana today. What can you concentrate your prana to create? What type of energy will you bring to all of your interactions? How will it affect the quality of energy in which you just participate in your day? How will it affect how you see the world, how you think? How can it warm your heart? How can it make your interactions more heartfelt, more purposeful? How can it bring you to a deeper state of gratitude and peace and receptivity? Just really open yourself to expand into the possibilities of what it's like to be resilient to the world and empowered and invincible with the power that we have to direct our energy, to choose to be completely present. Feel your deepest part of your wisdom just seeping into all of you. And feel free to just continue taking in this time of just really breathing in and really formulating the energy in which you will take into your day. And if you want to move again, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, blink a couple times, and then slowly come to a seat. Then we'll rub those hands together, remembering your intention and remembering any intention that you now have to bring into your day. Kind of feel that energy all along your spine, from the base all the way up to the crown, and stretch your arms up, reach, deep breath in. Send that energy out into your day, into your house, into your mat, into your room. And then bringing your hands to meet at your heart. Deep breath in, deep breath out. The light in me honors the light in you. May all beings be happy and free. May our words, thoughts, and actions contribute to the happiness, the joy, the freedom, the peace of ourselves and all other beings. Namaste.